instead of like, now the bucket's just straight, one end is fatter than the other end, I can taper it, no problem. This one is skinny on both ends, and fatter in the middle. And so when you cut them, they've got to be able to fit perfectly. Then you're gonna fire them, build a fire, to let it make it bend without breaking. And if you're off a 1/16 or 1/8 of an inch, or just a hair's width, it's gonna be. So I can't do that, and I have no desire to learn for 7 years. Our cooper that's in here was a master carpenter for 40 years, and I've been a cooper for 20 years, working the shop. And he's the one that's gonna make those 50 little casts like that one there over the winter. If you go to this brew house, they ordered 50 of them.
Wow.
So that's what all those staves over there stacked. We went down to our shipyard and we found a really nice white oak tree that we could saw out all this wood out of. And you see how with this beautiful white oak, and now we can use that to make the staves out of. But it was sawn with we have a 1920s sawmill down in our shipyard that we use.
Where's the shipyard?
If you go that way, down the other end, you'll see our shipyard down there. We have one of the biggest restoration shipyards on the East Coast down there. The Morgans is just put back in the water 2 weeks ago where she was out for her yard period. And if you come back next month, the Mayflower 2 will be here.
Oh, really?
She's got to do wintering here. We worked on her for 3 years. She's out of the water, and we worked on her. She's coming back for a little cosmetic work this way, and we'll inspect the whole the work that we did on her as well. I see there's 2 school ships in. Wow. Oh, the Harvey Gamage is in, and I don't know who that is.
And that's a school ship?
There's a school ship there for college students. Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah.
You can sign on for, usually the colleges will sign up for 2 weeks, and they'll go to sea for 2 weeks. The Gamage is up there, the one with the topmast in her, and I don't know, I have to go look at her. Years ago, I sailed on one of those school ships.
Did you?
As a deckhand first mate. Yeah,
Wow.
on those vessels. Yeah.
Thanks so much.
Quite a while.
Yeah,
Thank you for
thank
coming
you.
in. Enjoy your stay. I'm sad our Cooper's not here. I can show you how this whole system works with a draw knife, but I can't make a barrel for you. I should have finished assembling that.
Well, we'll be happy with the pail.
Pardon?
You can make a pail for us.
I made a pail over there. I just hadn't finished it yet. I got it on the former, and I just got to put it together now. I do it after hours, and the reason for that is because I use a tool that's not 19th century. I use rubber bands to hold it together. That way, if I do it now, as I tap that former out, I've got to tap the hoop down to keep it together. But if I put rubber bands on, about 15 rubber bands, it comes in by itself. I don't have to do it. So I can take it off the shaper and then drive the metal staves. And you can see it's open,
Yeah.
but that, when it comes off the form, those will come in. That other hoop, iron hoop, will be driven down. And I'm making it like this bucket here, with the white end at the bottom instead of at the top. That was a more traditional bucket from that period of time because of the weights on the bottom are less tippy.
Yeah.
That's why they made them a lot that way. But we do teach, our Cooper does teach coopering in this shop, and he, of course, he's been doing it for 60 years, and I have a little template, a little device that tells me if I've got the right shape. And I turn it over and it tells me if it's the right shape on the inside. And it also tells me if my bevel is correct on it. And there's different, the bigger the cast, the less bevel you have. It's more of a flat cut. The smaller the bucket, like this one that I made a couple weeks ago, you see it's got more of a bevel because it's making a smaller container. And after it's complete, when it's together, it looks pretty rough. But what I'll do is I'll take it, I'll have one hoop on each end, and I'll take a draw knife and I'll fair it. I'll tool like that round one up there. I'll fair the cast to get it where it's nice and smooth and looks good. And I'm not beyond sanding it. I don't care. And it's not gonna, and I don't really care if it holds water, because it's gonna end up in by somebody's fireplace holding paper or holding, I've never seen one that I made end up with water in them. They're just used for older homes and will make them look more like that. This piggin, I made 2 of them a while back. This friend of mine owns a 1790s home and has one of the big open hearth fireplaces, and she has a tintype picture of it from around I think it was 1830s, 18 somewhere, and it had 2 piggins, one on each side of the mantle, like this. And she wanted to reenact that picture, so I made her 2. And I said, why would they have balers on the mantle of this thing? 'Cause that's what they are, they're balers for bailing boats. But that was what was in the picture, so I said, okay, now she's got it. Looks like and I don't charge nothing. I just make them for them. I don't want to make any money off of it. It's just fun making them.
Do you have a beer barrel here?
We do have over there the bourbon cask,
Bourbon, yeah.
and that's what they age